Everyone uses some kind of calendar, or at least thinks they do. But is your calendar really doing its job? Or are you using calendars that mean you're duplicating some effort? Hi, I'm Em. I talk about planning, productivity, and systems, and I have spent way too much time overthinking this stuff, so you don't have to. This video is about the calendar, or as I call it, your long-term storage for when, the question of when. It's part of the Your Simple Productivity System series, or I've started just calling it Choose 4 Things because that's a lot shorter. We've already covered capture your ideas, and we have yet to come plan your day and manage your tasks. And I'm going to be doing those probably in the opposite order that you've seen them in other places. Today we're going to be covering that record your appointments and what a calendar is, talk a little bit about my calendar evolution, and then what not to put on the calendar, at least in my opinion. Before we get into it, I want to talk about a comment that came through on that original overview Choose 4 Things video. I really try not to prescribe what tools to use. What I'm trying to do in general, but specifically in this system, is getting people to think about what their needs are. To me, simple doesn't necessarily mean all in one. That may be what it means to you. But to me, it means the least friction on a day-to-day basis to use in my real life. So the 4 things were capture your ideas, record your appointments. I'm just shortening that to calendar because really that's what it was. If you watched my channel, you know I'm not currently in a planner. Doesn't mean I won't be a month from now, and it doesn't mean I wasn't a few months ago. But the hub of my system is a spiral letter size notebook. That said, if simple to you is one thing you can grab that you can do 99% of the things with, especially because you're on the go, then great. That's great. And if you're new to planning and worrying about task lists and all of this stuff together, then I would really recommend that you use a planner, right? You don't know what you need until you try different things. And so figure out what you do and don't like, what you use and don't use, what is missing from a planner. If you haven't gone through all those things, then it might not be the best strategy to start with a plain old notebook. I am a huge planner fan. You don't want to see my bookshelves and my boxes and my shelf over there. There are plenty of planners in my life. I just have found for me, there were always things wrong, and I just needed to do something that worked for me. So planners are built around calendars in all their forms. I think most of the time when somebody thinks of a calendar, they think of a monthly grid, right? The 7-column layout. Technically, if you have daily pages or weekly pages, those are kind of calendary too. But when I say calendar, I mean kind of the overall monthly turning into yearly picture, Google Calendar, iCal, or one of those monthly calendars that might be on your fridge, or at least was probably on your parents' fridge. My calendar evolution. Now, when I used planners, I always felt like I had to fill out that monthly spread. And I cannot tell you how much time and money and effort I spent because, number one, if you're not going to use the monthly spread, don't bother just writing appointments if you're going to always be using your Google Calendar, iCal. But the other thing for me is I like a Monday start. And there's a couple planners I've had that come with a Monday start, but I have redated way too many calendars, all of the monthly spreads, bought the little date dots, got the tweezers, stuck them on, and then never looked at that page again. It was a nice rainy Saturday afternoon activity, but totally not worth my time. The other thing with calendars and planners, when I did start to use them, I would maybe use them to record a highlight of the day. And then I realized, hey, I really like tracking things on a calendar monthly page kind of thing. But then it became, hey, I need more than one. I want to track each of these things on a separate one. Some things I'm not good at tracking on just a list or a 1 through 31 list. I like that line of Mondays, line of Tuesdays, so you can see week to week. That works for my brain. So I ended up needing multiple calendars, but not for planning. I print several versions of a monthly calendar and use it in my notebook now. I tend to do 2 months at a time now because it fits nicely on my notebook page. You might have seen those in my spirals. But I learned quite a while ago that I cannot plan on a paper calendar. Honestly, 6 months ago, I would have said, nobody really uses a paper calendar for planning. But I have met those people recently, and many of them. So I know that works for a lot of people, just absolutely not for me. What not to put on your calendar. Now, here's my take, and I have got a GTD background. That's usually how I first filter things through, is what goes on your calendar is things that have specific times that you must be there or must do something, not like to or wish to or want to. You can put things on calendar-ish things if you wish to, want to, would be nice to. You can put it on a weekly layout. You can put it on a daily page. You can put it even on a calendar, but not the calendar. Does that make sense? Your tasks belong somewhere else. If you start putting tasks on your calendar, in my experience, then you can't trust your calendar. And, your doctor's appointment is not equal to, gee, it would be nice to mow my lawn. That's how you can trust your calendar. Your calendar is for the whens, not the whats. The whats are your tasks, and they belong somewhere else on a task list or in an app, or maybe even not that formal if you don't have a lot that you have to keep track of. When I say your calendar is for your long-term when, it is not a task list. It is not a guilt trip. It is just when. When do you need to be somewhere or have something completed? It's a container for time-based commitments, nothing more. You can use paper, you can use digital, it doesn't matter, just choose one to be the master place. Now, I know work, yeah, asterisks, you have to probably do things for that. For the things that are under your control, I highly recommend you have one home. If you love using a planner and you love using the calendar in the planner and it works for you, I know that absolutely works for some people. If you need to have it with you on the go and you don't carry it with you, is that really working for you? Maybe you do carry it with you. But think about how you're using your calendar. Are you planning on it or are you tracking on it? Is it before you do stuff or after? Just want you to think about that. For me, digital is the only way to go. It's not redundant. Everything goes onto one calendar. Everything, if I have other calendars, they filter into the same calendar. One-stop shop. That's what works for me for my calendar. But obviously, that doesn't have to do with capturing my tasks or managing my tasks or what's the last one? Oh yeah, planning my day. Well, they filter into that. So that's why we're going to do planning your day next. If you're trying to put together a system for yourself, trying to maybe use the tools you have to the best ability or integrate some new tools, or just think it through and you want a guide, I have a free one down in the description. Grab the link down there and it'll help you figure out those 4 things. Again, that's not an overall exhaustive productivity system. It's those 4 basic things. We've already had that overview and the capture video. We have 2 more to go. Plan your day, manage your tasks. If this has been helpful and you want to see those other 2 deep dives, make sure that you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you get notified. And let me know in those comments, are you 100% digital, 100% paper, personal work? How do you handle those differently? I would love to know, because luckily we are not all the same. That would be very boring. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you again soon. Take care. I talk about planning. I'm so distracted by the eagles outside. Those are big bald eagles. Well, that was a good ending.